And here's how to manipulate them. I don't know, it's been so many. I want to say, like, realistically, 8. I'm gonna go with 8. As always, a little heads up before we get into it. Manipulation tactics of any sort are really toxic. Do not use these on good dudes that you want to be in relationships with. These are only for the bad dudes that hurt you and deserve it. Let's get into it. Number 1, alternate between love bombing and gray rocking. I think we all know what love bombing is. Gray rocking is just disengaging. Essentially, switching between love bombing and gray rocking is a form of push pulling.
Yeah, we get it. It's just hot and cold, but with only using fancier words to make yourself look smarter. So far it didn't work, so here's me hoping you try harder.
Number 2, reject him and then give him a plausible, logical explanation as to why you did that. Because harmless rejection breeds obsession. So as long as he gets a plausible explanation as to why you had to reject him, he will become obsessed.
No, he will not, and this is basically also hot and cold.
Number 3, the damsel method. Be a damsel. Don't do anything. Let him do everything for you. And I'm not just talking about things for the both of you. Ask him to help you with anything you can think of. This will make him feel like he's the hero. This will make him feel like you need him.
The one that left the comment she was responding to said, more please. If any of these manipulation tactics this lunatic is pushing on you work, would you be needing more? You already manipulated some guy, you got everything you wanted out of him, so there's no reason to ask for more, right? And yet here you are, the two of you. And keep in mind she said don't use this on good guys. So you're gonna play hot and cold with an F-boy? That's great. Play exactly into his game. You're gonna act like a damsel in distress with an F-boy? You're gonna ask the F-boy to help you with everything? I don't need to be one to know exactly what he's gonna say to you. No.
Here are some psychology tricks to manipulate men into craving you. Some of these are a little bit toxic, so be cautious when using them. Number 1, the cliffhanger effect. When you're texting, make sure to leave him with a cliffhanger at the end of the day. Something he'll have to wait for until the next day. He will become so curious, and it will release dopamine in his head when he gets to hear the end of the story. And he will associate the pleasure of the dopamine release with you. Number 2, wear red. Something in the color red makes men pay attention to you. I've noticed this with lipstick, clothes, even nails. Just try it, I promise. Number 3, make him feel silly for not giving you the princess treatment. Like, if he doesn't treat you like an absolute princess, make sure he knows something's wrong with him rather than you. Because you've always been treated like a princess and you are a princess. So why is he not treating you like a princess?
Because you don't deserve the princess treatment. You get that only if I consider you to be a princess. You're not. And no man is gonna be shamed into treating you like a princess only because you claim that's what you were getting before. Feel free to go to any of those guys that gave you the princess treatment. And I'm gonna have to be here all by myself enjoying my money.
And number 4, the mirror method. Give him exactly what he's given you. He texts you less, you text him less. He prioritizes you less, you prioritize him less. It's that simple.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
People always tell me that I teach you guys how to manipulate men and get them to do what you want. Really, I talk about self-development, but if I was to teach you how to manipulate men and to get them to do what you want, this is what I would say. Always listen to stories he tells you and look really fascinated and amazed by them, and don't interrupt. Constantly bring up his past successes in a really good light and be fascinated by everything he's done. Tell him that he's unique and he is amazing because the path he's taken in life and the choices he's made, only he could have done because he is who he is. Tell him that he can solve any problem, any issue that arises, anything that comes up, he can solve it. Lastly, tell him that you will support him in whatever mission he chooses to do in his life, and you believe in him and you will always be there to back him. If you do these things, a guy will literally do anything to be with you and for you. But that's not what I talk about on here, so.
That's okay, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Listening to your man without interrupting him is a manipulation tactic. Supporting your man is a manipulation tactic. I think you're only being sarcastic, or at least I hope you are.
You've been
talking to a guy and he suddenly stopped talking to you, just like that, stop scrolling. You should know about this one manipulation technique that sociopaths, manipulators, and potatoes are using to lure you in.
Okay, what? Manipulators and potatoes? Maybe one of you guys can explain that part to me, or maybe I'm hearing wrong? Cause I've listened to that part maybe 8 times, and even the captions on her video says manipulators and potatoes. So you know that tells me only that I need to listen to her some more.
My name is Paulina. I am giving my scientific perspective on all things relationships, potatoes, manipulators, and helping you empower yourself. You started talking to this guy, it was instant chemistry. There was attraction, definitely more than friendship. Things going so well.
Well, yeah, he was making you potato stew, french fries, mashed potatoes, and the potato manipulator was having you eat potatoes. I can only hope I'm hearing this wrong.
Except he started getting cold over text. Heck, he even disappeared. And you have no idea what went wrong. Well, the truth is, nothing really went wrong. He's giving you the silent treatment. Well, sometimes there may be a reason, like you broke a promise, he didn't just feel it and he wasn't mature enough to talk about it. Oftentimes, this serves the purpose of manipulating you. That your brain goes in a fight or flight kind of mode, and you end up obsessing completely over this person and what you did wrong. When the truth is, you're not doing anything wrong.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Unless you broke that promise, but we'll ignore that part because the potatoes was manipulating you. Yeah, no, I'm done listening.
If you are a girl and you want a man to feel connected to you, fall in love with you, whatever, you need to be thinking about a little something called vasopressin. It is a bonding neurotransmitter that is released in men specifically when it comes to connection and in the beginning stages of a relationship. So while women bond through oxytocin release, men bond through vasopressin release. And oxytocin is still super important for men, but it doesn't become important unless they already love you. And the vasopressin is what's going to kind of make this love happen a little bit. So how can we trigger it? Well, the way you're going to do it is very simple. Let him do things for you. Give him small tasks that he can complete for you, and then make him feel like you're so grateful for them.
Ladies, for the love of God, do not listen to this idiot. I've already covered this vasopressin stuff, but here's a short reminder. Vasopressin is released in men's body in stressful situations. It puts men into fight or flight mode. It will absolutely not make men fall in love with you or love you more.
There's no man that's more manipulative or insecure than the man who makes you feel like you're the problem when all you're trying to do is express how you feel. You're trying to express something that they did that hurt your feelings.
Oh, your fifis, well, yeah, that's important. In fact, it's so important that, I don't care. In reality, he's not the one manipulating you. You're using your fifis to manipulate him into doing whatever you want.
Alright, y'all. Here are 8 ways women will try to manipulate men. Let's get into it. Number 1, crying. Using your feelings for her against you. Number 3, guilt tripping you. Number 4, passive aggressiveness. Number 5, silent treatment. Number 6, complimenting you excessively. Number 7, ultimatums. And number 8, sex.
How to manipulate a man and make him obsessed with you. Step number 1. We don't manipulate around here. That man is not for you if you are even thinking or entertained by this idea of manipulating him. Leave him to it. Let him do what he wants to do naturally, the decisions he would make on his own, so you can figure out quicker whether to leave him or stay with him and whether he's worth it. The only thing you need to do is carry yourself well and set the standard. I kid you not, and I speak from experience when I say these 2 methods will literally make an emotionally available man try and change his ways for you.
Unless I have a say in it, which I still do, unfortunately for you. And in that case, no. I appreciate that we don't manipulate men around here. I understand the carry yourself well. But when it comes to your standards, you lost me because all I hear on TikTok is standards. You don't carry yourself well or have standards for a man to change completely for you. You find a man that fits into your standards. If you think I'm gonna change everything, including who I am, because you have standards, then you're no better than the first one I posted. Oh, look, I guess I have standards too.
Okay, TikTok, I did it. I sent the risky text. I canceled the date I had planned tonight. If you didn't see my previous video, there was a man trying to take me out on a date.
It was just not meeting my standards of how I expect to be treated in a romantic endeavor.
Ah, so you are insane then. You never even met a guy face to face and you send him a risky text, whatever the hell that is. And then I'm guessing your standards told you that he needs to take you to an expensive dinner. Because of course the guy you never met before should have know how to treat you in your romantic endeavor. Sure, that makes sense.
And so I was really proud of myself that I set a boundary. I deserve the best, and so does Susan. Her future father should be amazing. So as a reward, we got all gussied up in our favorite dress, and I said, hey girl, anything you want, princess. And I'm taking myself to my favorite restaurant, and I'm gonna sit at the bar, and I'm gonna order a steak, and I'm gonna have a glass of wine, and I'm literally just gonna be a girl out in the world. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm guessing so is your daughter. That guy you've never met before and never will because you thought he's not fitting into your standards could have been an amazing stepdad. You'll never know and I'll never care because he refused to take you to an expensive restaurant.